We got some good news yesterday. Kiyomi McMiller is back in the lineup for Rutgers. After missing a couple of games, won't rehash the details of why it happened. I covered that in the previous video. We move forward. I was just happy to see her back on the floor because this is something that the entire country is missing. Honestly, Rutgers isn't going to win many games. They lost this game against Nebraska. They've lost their most recent five, I think. They're on a 5-game losing streak. They're not going to win their next three against Michigan State, Michigan, and UCLA. I'll just be honest. The next chance for them to win a game will probably be January 26th versus Penn State, if they can pull that one out. But that's not important. What's important is Kiyomi McMiller is probably the most entertaining player in the country right now to watch. She not only has the best handles in the game, hands down. And I mean on every level. Ball on the string, all of the moves, splitting the traps. She splits traps like they're not even there. You might as well just hold her one-on-one because putting a trap on her right now is just throwing away a second defender. She splits that trap so well. She has the best floater in the game, both hands. Easily the best floater in the game. Her pull-up jumper from deep, she probably has the best pull-up from range, from logo range in the game right now. So there's so many different things that Kiyomi McMiller is doing that nobody in the country can do, even players that I will rank above her. I have to see her out there. I have to see her play. It's a must-see TV every time that she's out there, and if I don't catch the game live, you better believe I'm going back and watching the entire thing afterwards. So I was happy to see her back out there. 13 points in this game versus Nebraska. She was 14 for 28, so she definitely had some of those shots stored up for missing the past couple games. She wasn't holding back when she got out there. She put it all on display though. Like I said, the jumper, the midi, getting all the way to the rack, had a few slick passes. There was really nothing that she didn't do. Now, Nebraska, they've had some struggles against USC and UCLA recently, but don't get it twisted. They're a really good team. They've been ranked in the top 25 at previous points in the season. So Rutgers wasn't favored to win this game. Didn't really expect them to. There are no moral victories, but they did play them close. Showing some growth. Destiny Adams didn't have her best game in this one. Britt Prince from Nebraska. She's a good looking freshman who I've mentioned a few times on this channel. Definitely going to give her her own spotlight video very, very soon. But I wanted to talk about Kiyomi McMiller in this one, even though they took the L. And normally for me, it's till the victory goes the spoils. I talk about the winners 99.9% of the time. But Kiyomi McMiller is one of the biggest sensations in the country. A lot of people were wondering if she would even come back this season. I already figured that she would because she was back at practice, but there was a lot of talk about whether or not she would return this season. And so we're all just happy to see that she is back on the floor, gonna finish out the season. Hopefully they can pick up a few more wins. The Big Ten is not an easy conference at all, but wishing them the best. Now, as I just said, it's not just the handles. As you see in some of these clips, she has some of the deepest pull-ups with confidence, whether it's off the dribble, just out of the triple threat, off the catch, whatever. She has some of the deepest pull-ups that we've seen in all of college basketball this season. Well, in women's college basketball this season, some of the men are letting that thing go from close to half court. But from the women's side, she has some of the best pull-up jumpers that I've seen. And so I'm pretty sure that her fanfare will only grow, seeing as how a lot of people love those logo threes. They're more into that than they are the handles and some of the shiftiness that she has. So as we start to see more and more of these deep bombs, her fandom's gonna only grow over the season. Hopefully she can keep everything together with Rutgers or whatever happens in the future. Everything can go right from the PR side of things. We don't want this to get spoiled by any kind of negative perceptions. And so I'm happy that everything came to a conclusion the way that it did. Coach Coquise Washington, she didn't really add much context or give me much of an explanation. Said that she didn't know one, and I agree. Let's just let the past be the past and move forward. I was happy to see her out there. This was a tough loss. Hopefully they can pick up a win sometime soon.